Former Justice of the Delaware Supreme Court, Carolyn Berger joins us now. Carolyn, good to have you back. Help us try to make sense of this. So do that. It needs to be ratified by the Delaware Chancery Court, I guess? Just give me your take here in terms of what you expect and explain to our viewers what comes next for this.
Okay, what's happened so far makes it sound as if it's all done. The stockholders approved it, and there was a new proxy statement, so we're good. But that's only part of the story, because that new vote doesn't do anything until a court, in this case the Court of Chancery, says that, okay, that cures the problems that I found with the original vote and the original proxy statement, and even with the original process of setting the compensation package. The trial court was pretty negative about just about everything, and there's a judgment out there that says that the Tesla directors breached their fiduciary duty, and that the stock options and the stock purchases all have to be rescinded. So that's where things stand. What will happen now is that I strongly suspect Tesla and the other defendants will go into the Court of Chancery and almost, perhaps even next week, move to reopen the decision, reopen the judgment on the basis that there has been a significant new development, namely a new stockholder vote, which they will say is based upon absolutely full information and cannot be challenged because it doesn't suffer the same infirmities as the first one. Of course, on the other side, I understand there's already talk about how this stockholder vote was also imperfect or flawed.
So,
So
then what are your expectations in terms of the court, the Chancery Court, and the chances it would reverse itself in terms of the decision that brought us here in the first place?
Okay, my own view is that the court is not going to reverse itself. And the basis for that is that the judge was pretty adamant about how the pay package was just plain unreasonable. And there were a lot of superlatives, a lot of cracks, if you will, about Elon Musk and why does he have to get huge compensation when all these other billionaires like Bezos and Warren Buffett, they don't take those kinds of pay packages. So why does Musk need one? Those kinds of comments strongly suggest that the judge doesn't want to change her mind. And I suspect what will happen is that there will be new set of briefing, and the subject will be, did this new vote override or change the decision that was entered? I believe that the court is going to say that it did have an impact, but most likely what the court will do is say, all right, now the burden is on the plaintiff instead of on the defendant to prove that this was an entirely fair compensation package. And at that point, I believe that the court's going to say, even if the plaintiff has the burden, the evidence supports finding unfairness.
Wow, okay.
And so ultimately, the decision will stand.